You are welcome to the Guru's Perspective as we launch into the Dangote accusation against the federal government and against international oil companies. Where do we start from? Where do we start from? Where do we start from? Okay, let us start from who? Or should we start from the international oil companies? I think we should start from somewhere. However, we should start from somewhere. The Nigeria International Oil, the international oil companies, Dangote alleged that they refuse to sell crude. They prefer taking the crude to the international market. And that is the reason why it decided, why the refinery decided to travel all the way to the United States of America in importation of crude oil, so that the refinery in Lagos here can see something to refine. Dangote added that if the international oil companies are being begged, they prefer to sell it in addition, adding $6 to each barrel. And $6 means much in a place where you have to buy millions of barrels to refine. And because of that $6, there is no way they could refine it and bring the price of their refined product to acceptable prices that will be uniform here. Even if they travel the way to United States of America to go and import the crude, it will still be a little cheaper for them. Not that that is the most convenient thing for them to do. Yes, they know this, but it is still better than waiting for people that are very, very reluctant to do this. This allegation, which the international oil companies may want to debunk, may not really be accepted by Nigerians if they debunk it, because we know what international organizations, not only the oil industry alone, do when it affects Nigeria, that Nigerian has been recolonized within the economic factor and many, many other factors. But there are issues bigger, questions bigger, that we need answer to. Dangote Refinery is a personal enterprise. But along the line, maybe one of these days, I will bring the breakdown of the sharing of the Dangote Refinery. Dangote himself had this 6 point something. He said the refinery, the Dangote company, Aliko Dangote is share. The federal government has 20%. Let's limit it to the 20% of the federal government. The question is this: if the federal government has 20% in the refinery sharing interest in the refinery, why can't the federal government pull out its 20% capacity from the crude that is being produced to give to Dangote? That's number one. Number two, if the federal government will sell to Dangote, will it sell at dollar rate or will it sell at naira rate? Since the trade will be coming in Nigeria, the crude is from Nigeria. Dangote that is buying is in Nigeria. The refinery that will refine it is in Nigeria. And everything is Nigeria based. Would it be necessary for the federal government to sell that need of crude oil to Dangote at dollar? If the federal government does that, is that not going against the law of the country? Which of the currencies is of legal tender in Nigeria according to the law? It is not dollar, it is naira, and we know that everyone that traded in other currency in Nigeria has breached the law of this country. Therefore, we can now see that if Dangote must get crude oil from Nigeria to refine, it therefore, as of legal tender, as of law, must pay in naira, not in dollar. Of course, it can be calculated that, okay, let us make it equivalent of dollar. The naira converted should be that. Again, that will be subject to a lot of litigation or interpretation by many scholars. So that Dangote could not secure any 1 barrel of crude to refine from Nigeria But the IOCs are taking everything away. The question it raises are too many. If we bring them into this narration, we may not end up the discussion. That's number one. Number two, why is it that the IOCs are saying we are taking our crude to the international market? The question is this: when did the IOCs secured this crude, and when did they effect payment? If they had paid in advance before this thing is pulled from the ground, before this thing is extracted from the ground, it means they have the right to take their property, which they have, meaning they have invested. Interest will be counted. Depreciation of value of the money, give it a dollar, will be counting. They have the right to take their oil to their crude to whichever place they have predestined that this is where this thing is going. That is number three. Economically speaking, you cannot stop a man who had paid, and in the contract of payment says that I pay so amount for so quantity of crude. And they would have told you in the contract agreement where the destination of that crude. I am afraid, ab initio, the destination couldn't have been Nigeria. So for that reason, Dangote will not have any power to force the crude oil to be sold in Nigeria. Now, if that is the case, meaning Dangote can go far to go and bring his crude oil to refine in Nigeria. Okay, then there is a fourth leg to this. The fourth leg is this: who is guilty or who is not guilty in this matter? Is there any conspiracy between the federal government and the other people? We shall answer you when we return back.